Right. Well, good afternoon. Good late afternoon to some of you in Finland, and welcome to our Leader Lowdown. I am so thrilled to have, you know what, I'm just going to call it SANNA 3X. Sanna
Yeah.
Laudeman here. She's been here 3 times. I think you're my most favorite guest. We just keep getting back together. But one of the things I'm so excited about is we have a lot to share today. We really do.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. Well, I want to take a moment and welcome all of you to the Flip the Switch community. If you're outside the community right now, I'm going to drop the link to join the community where you can receive free trainings, exclusive specials, and so much more in our leadership community. So take a moment and join. We had you guys are going to die. I think we had 45 new members today alone. So awesome. Very, very
Most
exciting.
of them are from Finland.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them could definitely be. So yeah, I want to take a moment and welcome you to our Leader Lowdown today. My name is Joan Robison, and I am super excited to be here. I help leaders ignite their inner brilliance and really develop strategies and duplication for building winning sales teams. And, I've so enjoyed working with many clients, but I have to say, Sana, you have been one of my absolute favorites. And of course, everyone's my favorite, but I have just loved partnering with you on so many levels since we met in Dubai. And I think we clicked immediately. We're very similar, uh, types of gals. We like it direct, we like it straightforward, and we don't like any what BS, right? None of that
Yeah,
business.
yeah, yeah.
No time, no room for that. So I want to take a moment, Sana, and let you tell just a little bit about yourself. So, how long you've been in the industry, what do you love about the industry, and, maybe something personal.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me, Joan. Third time's a charm.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was last October last time. I was in Italy then, and I remember that my computer crashed then. So hopefully today, no, nothing like that gonna happen. So, okay, so my name is Sanna. Yeah, I'm from Finland. I've been in the industry for 8.5 years, and after first year, I actually got this my main job, main income stream for myself, and after 6 years, I did six-figure income for myself, and then we met with Joan in Dubai because of the six-figure year. Then I got to go to Dubai with amazing leaders, and I met Joan in a yacht at the first the first day we
Just
met.
living the high
uh,
life, right?
yeah, it was on a yacht, and I had the sunscreen, and she didn't. So it was match made in heaven then.
Yeah, you were fulfilling a need and a want that I had, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was amazing days in Dubai, and I felt that I actually had done something big in this industry from small country. I started when I was 24, really young, and yeah, what I love the most about this industry is people. People here in my company, people here in my team, but people all over the world. We just love to do things together. Like me and Joan, we are from different companies, but we just clicked immediately, and we just love to do things together. And yeah, it's crazy what this industry can bring to you. But when the industry brings you people, it brings you experiences. And yeah, I have had those. We jumped the skydive together,
Yeah,
and
we did. In fact, let's talk about that just for a quick minute.
oh my god.
Lord, that was one of those things, we were there at the Rob Sperry event. By the way, Rob Sperry's got a fantastic event this coming weekend that I have the
Yeah.
privilege to be able to speak at. And in fact, I will drop the link to that because there's still virtual spots available. But we were at the seven figure mastermind, and I remember I was chatting with Rob and I said, hey, I want to, skydive with your wife because I knew they were going to skydive. And he was like, oh, they already went. And I thought, oh, geez, okay. But I still was thinking, I'm going to do this. It was something I really want to do. I'm kind of what's the word? I'm kind of adventurous and a little bit risky, right? So I was, yeah, right. Yeah, really. Anyway, I was so excited. And then I run into SANNA, Yuha, and I'm going to say it wrong, Yeri. Yeah. And I'm just telling you, it was like we were made to go together because now they had a fourth, right? I wasn't a third wheel. I was just completing your threesome. No.
Exactly. Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah.
It was so
crazy times.
So good. And you know what? I got to say, guys, one thing, if you've never skydived, I'm going to tell you, talk about a rush and an incredible experience. But one thing that I was like, I was very calm in the plane and everything. But I remember when it was time, when they opened the door, we were all up there and you're going, right? There's no turning back. And I remember the guy that I had, his name was Lizard.
Lizard, yeah.
How do I remember that? I don't know. But all of a sudden he says, come sit on my lap. And I thought, are you kidding? And okay. And I kind of watched everybody else was doing it. So I might as well do it. And then he click, 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 and everybody at the same time, they were all clicking us closer. And I thought, oh my gosh, there is that freaked me out for a quick second. And then we moved over and boom, we were out. And oh my gosh, I think my face, just about felt like it was coming off, but talk about an experience, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was amazing. And I thought a few things in my life that I want to change when I have done the jump. Yeah, I manifested a few things and then I just thought, okay, now it's just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we just gonna go. And I just wanted to enjoy the whole ride. And it was amazing what the guy said to me. It was like network marketing coach to a team member. He said that you remember those 3 things that you have to do. And I was like, okay. But you know what? I can do all those things for you, but one thing I cannot do for you. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride and smile. I was like, okay, here we go. So it was amazing metaphor. Yeah.
It was. And I remember he said, now can you arch like a banana?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, I think I could do that. So, it was fun though. What an experience. It will be always imprinted as one of the best experiences of my life.
Absolutely.
Such a wonderful time. And we kind of all bonded kind of tight. It was kind of good.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, let's get started here today, gang. We are going to talk about how to confidently close a recruiting conversation. And of course, there's at least 3 steps prior to this, but I'm so thrilled to chat about this because SANNA and her team have been really focused on leveling up their skills of recruiting, and she's actually got some real results to share with you. And I'm excited because I may be offering that resource to the greater public. And so I'm excited to talk a little bit about that. But first, everyone knows we got to ignite our light, right? So these cards are my Ignite Your Light cards. You can get them at joanrobison.com/shop. And what I love about these cards and what really inspired me to write these cards is that many times we stay stuck in fear, in limiting belief, and in doubt. And sometimes we stay there for minutes. Sometimes we stay there for hours. Sometimes we stay there for days, months, and even years. And I thought if I could provide a tool to people to get unstuck rapidly and flip the switch, same as my book, right? That we would be enjoying more of what we wanted and focused on the solution instead of the fear and the challenge. So these cards in literally less than 60 seconds provide that. So today's card, it popped out and it's very good. Because I think often people can feel challenges as, why is this happening to me? Woe is me. So let's talk about it. Challenges are often gifts from God. And I know for me, that isn't the first thing when a challenge comes my way that I'm thinking about. I'm not going, oh my gosh, thank you, bring it on. That is not what I'm saying. Usually for a hot minute, I might be like, why me? Are you kidding me? And have all kinds of emotion that really isn't productive. However, I've learned to flip the switch in a very short period of time, knowing that staying in that energy is so unproductive, steals your joy, and really it's up to me and you to change it. So the card says, what gift have I been given? Most of the beautiful gifts don't come with a beautiful red bow. God has a way of turning my greatest challenges into my most treasured gifts. I understand that things are not happening for me. Or wait a minute. I understand things are happening for me and not to me. Flip the switch by using your challenge for good. I create, I heal, I love. This is card number 5. And Sanna, what do you have to say about that? You're always full of good wisdom.
Well, thank you. Well, yeah, exactly. And things are not always going the way that you have planned. But, I have had those experiences today, and you just need to focus your energy to somewhere else. And you just need to flip the switch, because how you would say it in the best way, it's 10% in life. It's 10% basically what happens, and 90% how you react to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you just need to create that. Yeah, you need to create the focus again.
And I think this is a perfect segue into our subject. And before we go right into talking about closing with confidence when it comes to recruiting, let's talk a little bit about how many people feel, at least initially, around recruiting. I think that, in my years of being in the business, I've seen and myself experienced some fear around maybe lack of confidence, like, I think I need to know more. Boy, I'm a little afraid that people are going to think I'm pushy, or, am I going to be able to answer all the questions that somebody might, ask me? And there's all kinds of things that come by our way of, experiencing fear and those kinds of things. So when I think about being challenged in business, when I think about being challenged in life, one of the things that I have been able to do is close that gap a little more quickly. And that is what I want to really share with people today, is it's not about never feeling fear, because we're always going to feel some kind of fear at some level. What it's about is it's about how you view it. So looking from the inside out, and possibly getting to the level where you can say, what is this fear teaching me, and how can I use it for good? Because the truth is, our group is a leadership community, and a leader is just somebody leading just even one person. You look behind you, you got one, you're leading. And what I'll say is that as leaders, how you show up, how you respond to the challenges, tells your team everything. And by the way, it really creates a culture of maybe either solution-oriented individuals or complainers and problem-focused individuals. And you have to be aware of both to know really what's going on, right? So you got to sometimes experience the problem to know that you want something better in solution. All right, I could go on. I love this subject. And for more on really mindset and disciplining yourself to the practices, because that's all we're doing. Every day we're just practicing to get a little better than yesterday. That's it. And, going into our subject, let's talk, Sanna, about recruiting. Well, tell the people listening in here what you've experienced since our trainings and just really what your team has experienced. And then we'll get into some of the specifics of closing.
Whoa, how much we have time. Well, well, the most important thing is that people have learned to be more confident, because the fear of pushing something to people, fear of pushing the business, fear of pushing the products, they have realized that you need to start the recruiting with a certain kind of mindset. And the certain kind of mindset is that you need to think that, who can I serve today? Who can I help today? So you're like a serving business and sales business, which of course we are, but you need to take the certain mindset into it. And one specific thing is that if you have at first, in the beginning, you have most fears about, you don't want to sell to your friends, or you don't want to be pushy. That's really common fear.
I think so.
You just, yeah. And one of the things that you taught us was the benefit list. And it was amazing, because you need to think all those good things, why you joined. Why did you join into this business? What kind of things have you already got, even though you haven't earned a lot of money, because, money comes basically in the last part. You have had new people in your life, more amazing experiences. You have been starting to grow, everything. So what things have you already get, and why did you join? What made you said yes?
Yeah.
And those are the reasons why you have to think that you are serving people, not pushing something to people.
Right.
So that's the first thing. Yeah.
I love that. And I want to say a little something around that, because, that perception is exactly what changed everything for me years ago. I share this a lot on Morning Motivation, and even in my reels and stuff. I was somebody that had probably more fear than the average person. And I even had sales experience. For Pete's sake, I worked for a number of years in management at Nordstrom, and my family, business, my family are entrepreneurs. And yet coming into network marketing really challenged me, and it showed me that I had a lot of insecurities around what people think. And I was just very, overly fearful that people were going to think I was trying to recruit them. And then it dawned on me, well, maybe I just don't like that word recruit, because it reminded me of, the Army commercials or whatever. But then I thought, well, it's not the word, Joan, it's the meaning you're giving the word. So I don't know about you guys out there, but drop a heart in the comments if you've ever felt some of these things that we're sharing. We'd love to, really see from you, because we believe that these are very common fears, but there's a way to get out of it. And it's by choosing a different way to look at it and think about it. So I want to say this, and Sanna, I'd love to know, your kind of backstory on joining. But for me, my best friend said to me, hey, I've got these amazing products, Joni, I want you to check them out. And, I'll drop some things by, this is 20 some years ago. So don't think I'm saying everybody needs to go door to door and drop products. But the truth was, the last thing she said is, I think you'd be really good at it. And that right there was like, So if you're taking notes, write down some of these things, because I know for me, I had to be invited. Okay. I wasn't, no offense, guys, but even today, I'm not somebody that's going to put in a post, yeah, I'm really interested in your business. That isn't how I operate. And I'm just kind of going to venture to say, you've got to look a little deeper for clues. However, she invited me. She reminded me of a couple things that I already love. I thought of you because I know you love makeup and skincare and beauty, blah, blah, blah. And I think you'd be kind of good at this. So she says, who knows where it could go, but I'll just be glad I shared the products with you, and you can let me know what you think. Now, Was that in any way pushy to me? It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. And yet I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that if I had not been approached in that way, I would not be here today. So invite people, notice maybe a commonality with your products, with the business, with what they love, and then remind them of what made you think of them. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. Because really, even my best friend didn't realize that about a month before her and I had met at the airport, I was coming back from somewhere and so was she. And guess what? She was like, oh yeah, I'm coming back from this big conference. I won this huge award and I was so excited for her. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I could do something like that and work from home. That's where it began. So how are you kind of putting out there, like SANNA just mentioned, some of the benefits that you've experienced as a result of being involved in network marketing? SANNA, what about you? When you came on, how did you get involved?
Yeah, well, basically quite same. And I want to say that it's really not what you say. It's always how do you make them feel? Because my best friend also recruited me, and the way she said it, well, I wasn't easy. I wasn't the person who joined the first time. So I think she said something about products that I know these would be really good for you. I know. Yeah. And then also she said something like, she said that I would love to work with you.
Yeah. Okay. Look at that.
Yeah. So basically the same. Made me feel really good.
Products, right? Because you love health and wellness. And then the fact that she would love to partner and work with you. Guys, write them down. These are clues that are authentic, that sometimes we forget. And these are great reminders. So SANNA, let's talk about some of the things that your team has experienced with taking a deeper dive. Are they connecting better? Are they gaining more confidence? What are you seeing that's happening with them out there?
Well, more confidence with the mindset, how they start recruiting, of course, but then also when they talk with people and they have the confidence to really ask the question. Like, you don't want to do it endless conversation with the person. Right. The endless messaging that's going to take months. No, they're more confident about just popping the question. Hey, I was wondering. They are, they don't need the right moment, because the right moment never comes if you wait for it. So they are more confident and they'll just pop the question. Like, actually, you said it right. It's popping the question. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, with the closing, I think people think closing is too difficult. Mm-hmm. They think it the wrong way, and they think it also is really scary to close people. That's the scary. Oh, we're going to the end. I should ask the question. It's really scary. So what I want to do today is I want people to feel more relieved with closing.
Yeah. Well, I want to say one thing. I sort of got off on a tangent, but when SANNA said earlier about, serving versus convincing or trying to talk somebody into it, when you have that mindset of service, what you're doing is, I'm seeking to understand this person's needs and wants. I'm seeing if there's a problem that perhaps my, it could be products or business solves. And we do that through asking questions. And I believe that the steps go, in an order. You've got to connect and make a connection. And by the way, next week, we're going to talk all about connection on the Leader Lowdown. But until then, let's just move to the end of closing. I do believe, like Sanna said, that the majority of people can do all the steps. They make a great connection, they present their company's opportunity fabulous, they go over, they invite some objections, they get through those, and then they go, okay, well, gosh, if this interests you, why? And they give away their power or their assertiveness in the recruiting conversation. So one thing I want to say is that when it comes to closing, I want to relieve everybody that's listening in today. It is not about their answer. It's about you using the skills to empower them to make a decision. So the onus is on them. We want that prospect to make a decision that is right for them. So Sanna, share a little bit about how you're using three-way calls to help your team close, and just like how you're doing that with them, because I do think oftentimes, I know in my company, we do a lot of three-way chats. We do some three-way calls or three-way Zooms. And I think it's very, I think it's a very good thing to do until people feel really confident, and then they can go help a few other people and so forth, right? We can duplicate that activity.
Yeah.
But tell us how you guys are doing it, and maybe even some of the specific word choices, because I know people love word choices and I don't want to give them all away. I mean, I got a few right here, but I want you to share it because you've been having the results.
Yeah. And, I want to say this, that through the recruiting process, always the power is with the person who is asking the questions. No matter if it's the closing, no matter if it's the first sentence that you're going to say to the person. Always asking questions. Just remember this. And when you're going as a coach, you're going to a three-way call and you just want to know what the person is thinking. Remember that most of the people who are coming, the prospects who are coming to the three-way call, they have fears. They have so much fears, and they just think that maybe I'm not up for this, maybe this is not my thing, maybe I'm never going to able to do this. And, lots of things going on in their head. Yeah. So your job is to put their focus into right thing. And what is the right thing? Themselves.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. They need to think about themselves in a right way. I mean, I always ask that when, of course, I'm going to take the few with the objections. I'm going to ask some questions that you have any questions and so on. But when we are there and I see the person is really interested, about business, but I see the doubt, I see the fear and I see the doubt. I'm going to ask the person that, can I ask you something? How much should you have to earn from this in order this would be worth of your time?
Yeah.
How much would you have to get money from this?
Yeah.
And then the person thinks, trust me, they never answer in the first question. You just need to help them with this. So it's good you say that. You can just say ish, you can just say from here to here, or just something, say about what would really ease your life right now. And let's make an example that the person says, well, I would like to have $1,000, 1,000 euros. Okay. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Amazing. So then I would ask, okay, that's amazing. I'm going to always encourage them to answer more questions. I'm going to say, excellent, that's great. 1,000 euros sounds really good. So then can I ask you something else? How many hours per week are you willing to work for this? Or how many hours per week you can work with this? Right. And then the person thinks, they usually think, very few people says like this.
Right.
They think, and then I'm gonna always say that, okay, just you can say like from 3 to 5 or 5 to 8 or 8 to 10 or whatever, just ish. Okay, let's say that the person says maybe 5 to 8 hours a week. I have 2 jobs, I have 3 jobs, I have 3 kids, and so on. They're gonna start to point out the reasons why they don't have time. So your job is to guide them straight to the how much you have opportunity to work with this. Okay, yes. Okay, so the person says 5 to 8 hours per week. And then always, I love this. This is one of the golden nuggets from Joan Robinson. So,
Oh, jeez.
Oh no, what she's gonna say now? At the beginning, you're always going to build your confidence. You're going to build your skills. You're going to build to be better at this. So how much time you're going to give yourself to reach that 1,000 euros, $1,000 per month? Mm-hmm. How much time are you going to give yourself? So I'm going to bring out the reality. You're not going to do it today. And then the person says, okay, I would say that in a year, because year from now, this is my situation and that is my situation. Okay, good. And now comes the real golden nugget. Now I have all the numbers, then I'm going to say these things again. What would you say if you would get 1,000 euros by working 5 to 8 hours a week, year from now?
I think Sanna paused. Oh, there we go. You're back. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah.
We left off at a year from now.
Yeah. So 1,000 euros by working 5 to 8 hours a week. A year from now, if we help you to do it, would you be willing, would you be open to learn and start the business with us? And guess what? At this point, they're going to say, the majority of people are going to say yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if they say no, they're going to say some of objections. They're going to say something about, well, yeah, I'm really interested, but then you can handle those. But if the person is not starting now, they're gonna start later if you follow up them correctly, because this is really, really, really good formula.
Yeah. I love that you shared. So I want to repeat a couple things to the group out there. Guys, first off, Sanna said the power is in the person asking the questions, right? And I want to make this statement. When we ask a question, not only do we gain information and clarity to understand and know that prospect more, but they have to think 7 times more to answer the question than if we just spew and give all the information about everything about your business. And I know I like to talk. That's no surprise to probably anybody that knows me, but I have had to really become a skilled recruiter that listens more and takes notes. I always take notes. I don't care. I don't care if somebody sees me following along on my guide. I want them to, because that shows them that you don't have to know it all. The guide literally prompts you, right? So let's review just real quick. So we've got the first step. Now, guys, this is when you're in an actual set appointment conversation. And I want to encourage everybody. I'm going to just do a quick little recap here, and we're going to deep dive into these steps over the course of the next weeks. But the first step is to connect. Now, I want to just say that when we connect, we're touching somebody's heart, right? And Sanna said it. It's all about them. It's not like, well, let me tell you why I got started, and let me tell you how big my paycheck is, and let me tell just put a lid on it, for Pete's sakes, and focus on finding out more about them. So you want to ask those open-ended questions. And remember, I would spend the majority of my time, if I'm doing a 20-minute recruiting conversation, I'm going to spend the majority of time on that connecting part. So I know what's important to them. So they feel heard and understood. So they feel the partnership that they're going to get when they're going to partner with me. And then, and only then, I might share a little bit of my story as it relates to them. Are you guys, geez, I think I yelled that. But are you guys with me? Are you with me on that? Because when people go into this long story about themselves and it's like, this is a stay-at-home mom and you're a dentist's wife or something. It's totally different.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just a facetious example. But you want to relate part of your story to them that would be beneficial for them to hear. All right. So from the connecting piece, then we go into really presenting what your company has to offer. And it should be done in a very simple way. I won't deep dive into this, but we're basically telling somebody how to get started and how you get paid. And don't, I'm just saying it, I'm getting real passionate about this subject. Freaking do not send the comp plan, 25 pages. That is not what we do. You want to tell them maybe the 3 top ways that a new person makes money in their first 90 days, right? Let's not overwhelm the hell out of someone, my Lord. You know, if they have experience, that's different. But the majority of people you recruit have none, just so we're all clear. So we share how a person gets started. We're sharing our success plan. We're talking a little bit about how they get paid. And then we might also share a little plan about how to help them make back their kid investment in the first 60 days so that they feel really good about their decision. Okay, then we go into objections. And I want to say that the majority of people make the mistake. Now, this is before they really understand how to recruit in a systematic way. Is, you know, they're new, right? So we got to give them a little grace, but they'll go like this. Okay, Joan, I have someone interested. And then they introduce, and let's say we're on a 3-way or whatever, and they'll go, okay, well, this is Joan and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, Marianne, what questions do you have? Holy Toledo, we don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just threw my pen. I'm going to pick it back up, not without the tantrum. But guys, that's like step 3. All right. And also the questions that they have are going to be more fear-based. It's going to be like, I don't know if this kind of thing's for me. I don't know if I'm a salesperson, or, you know, I don't know if I have the money for your big kahuna kit or whatever. Or, you know, I have 3 jobs right now. So I'm wondering when I would ever do. I mean, guys, that's what most people are thinking about. And those are just 3 top things that I hear all the time. Now, if you start there, think about what you don't know. Probably don't know what's important to them. So you don't have anything to go back to. You probably don't know, you know, how much time they're willing to work and what kind of money they want to make. So where do you go from there? It's really awkward. So if you get anything from today around, you know, this whole chat, you've got to go in order. It's a methodology. All right. Now, when you go into the actual close, I'm 100% in agreement with SANNA. Most people can do all the other things right. They follow the plan and, you know, we're going to do this and do that. And then all of a sudden they go, okay, well, you know, gosh, SANNA, get back to me if this is, you know, something that interests you. Because all of a sudden fear gets the best of them, right?
Yeah, and that's easier because they fear that what the person is going to answer. So that's why these questions are really good, because it's really specific question. How many hours? How much money?
Right.
It's really specific. So you don't need to be afraid of what they're going to answer.
Exactly. So let's say now you've answered all their questions. So we've connected, we presented our plan, we overcame or invited the objections, we helped them work through those. And then we're kind of at that place where I would say something like, anything else? You know, because I want them to bring it on. No, I think we're good. Now, there's several ways to close, but one of the ways that has always worked for me, and it's super simple, is just saying to that prospect, Sanna, you tell me, where would you like to go from here? Now, notice how all I had to do was have the question. And Sanna is now feeling like, oh yeah, Joan's asking me what I want to do. And it wasn't awkward. I guarantee you she's going to tell you. Okay. Now, another way, I want to give you a couple other specifics. Let's say you're not really sure. Maybe their body language, you're on a Zoom and they're sitting way back here, like way away from you, or something like that. Or they're kind of, like, oh, gee.
Yeah.
But, so maybe at that point, you might say something as simple as, gosh, tell me, what did you like best about what you heard today? In other words, you're bringing the energy back up, right? And you're prompting them to talk about what excites them. See, because this kind of stuff and this kind of stuff is fear. So skilled recruiters know how to get someone out of fear. And you'll always do it by going back to what's important to them. So what did you like best about what you heard today? Another thing you can do is pre-qualify people. I like to say, like, gosh, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, right, wild horses couldn't keep me, like, no way, no how, I don't want anything to do with your business, Joan. And 10 being, I want to sign up right now. Where are you at? And if you guys are a little worried that 1 to 10 is too big of a gap, then do 1 to 5. Right? Sanna, what are some of the things you say at the very end? So like you said, you've got that person now and you're going to ask the questions. What would you say there at the very end to move them forward to make a decision? And we're not, guys, what we're looking for is basically, they're going to get going. No, they're not going to get going, or maybe not right now. It's not a good time. I just want an answer so that I know where to go. So what are some of the questions you specifically ask as well?
Well, if I use the 1 to 10 scale question, and the person says like, I don't know, it's like a 6 or something. Well, first of all, remember that from 5, 6, even 4, those are good.
Those are good numbers.
Nobody says 10. I mean, few people, but just remember that those are good numbers, 4, and 5, and 6. So if the person says like, I don't know, like somewhere 5 or 6, okay, then I'm going to ask, what is there more that you need to know in order you to do the best decision for you right now? So, well, if the person is just not going to be able to do the decision there, then we're gonna sell them to a new time. So if there's something that you still need to think about, there's something that you need to look at, we're going to send you something. Is it okay that we're going to take a new call like tomorrow or day after? So sometimes they just need to figure something out. And but if you do that, then you just need to give them something positive to look at. You don't want them to go home and listen to people who are gonna trying to talk them out of this. So then also what I'm gonna do if it's the thing that they have said that I want 1,000 euros a year from now, and I'm going to be spending my time 5 to 8 hours a week, then I'm gonna say that, okay, if we really show you how to do it, are you willing to start learning? And if the person said yes, then I'm going to say that, okay, fantastic. And then I'm just going to tell them what to do, what happens next. So I'm not going to stay there and trying to ask anymore, do you have anything you want to know more? If the person says, yes, I am willing to learn. And that this is why I ask this, are you willing to learn and come on board with us? And if the person says, yes, I am, then I'm going to say, okay, fantastic. And then I'm going to next appointment to us when we are going to start, and the person is going to do the registration between there. So we're just going to get to it. If the person wants money, and if the person really wants to use the hours from 5 to 8 or 3 to 5 hours a week, the person wants to get started. So I'm going to tell them what to do next, what happens next. It's like in a restaurant. Yeah. Like in a restaurant, I'm going to bring here the wine, and then I'm going to get back and take your orders,
Yeah, I love that. And so what SANNA is sharing is keeping the momentum going. And one last one that I want to share with the group is I love this, where let's say the objection was, gosh, I don't know, let's just say it was about money or something.
Yeah.
I might say something like, if I could show you a way, so write this down, guys. If I could show you a way to make that money, would you join us today? So if I could, would you? Or, and it maybe I'm a little more direct, but maybe it might even be, if I could show you how to make that money in the first month of business, how do you feel about coming on board? And I always shake my head, yes, right? Body language, yes. That's why I do prefer a 20-minute Zoom, right? I do. But again, everybody has little different ways of bringing people on board. But I do want to say this as we wrap up. Now more than ever, people are noticing that we became a lot transactional during COVID. I mean, we kind of didn't have a choice, right? People were not meeting in person, and I'm not trying to say we need to go back to meeting in person. That could take a long time. But the power of the connection is been overlooked, in my opinion, for a while. And I made a post here the other day because I think God's kind of going, he's kind of laughing up there going, first they got all, everyone isolated, right? And then people got out and realized they miss people. And, by this point, business had changed a bit. And now people are saying, let's go back to basics. Hell, basics it's not basic to connect. That's essential. Okay? It's essential because people buy people first, then the product, and often then the company. But it's not in the other order. And someone right now is probably going to write me a note and go, well, I had somebody that signed up and they didn't even know me. Well, good for you. But that is not the typical way that we build sales teams. We build
that's that relationship,
right? Through connection and relationship. And so we have to get really skilled at becoming somebody that draws people to you because of who you are and how you make them feel. So, SANNA, I'm going to just make a little call out. If anybody out there is interested in a little bit of a more kind of like a special training, wherever you are, whatever, I'm streaming all around wherever I am here, I want you to type leader, just leader, in the comments. And I am going to be reaching out, and personally invite you to a special training. And we're going to really take a deep dive into the Ultimate Recruiting Conversation Guide. And I'm going to help people really get clear, almost like kind of workshop style, because I know there's a lot of people out there that really struggle with this. And, I'm so passionate because I also know, on the other hand, there's a lot of people that need a job right now. You are the answer to people's prayers, to their intentions, to, they may not know it and you may not know it. But if you're not inviting people to look at your business and you're kind of sitting home in your cave, I'm going to tell you, it's kind of a lonely existence when it comes to network marketing or social selling. So, Sana, any last tips that you would want to offer? We've got a great audience today. Damn, you drew in some people here, woman. Got a great audience.
Well, you know.
Well, I can only see one area we stream, and I'm like, wow, we went up over 50. Woo, woo, woo. So, talk to us. What are some last tips that you feel would be, you just want to share? And it can be in any area around recruiting.
Well, I just want to say this. Recruiting, of course, it's a big area, but there might be like a million things that your coach and your company and many people out there are coaching to you, and you want to learn a lot. But the basics are recruiting. And if you're not really good at recruiting, your business is not going anywhere. If you want to make money in this industry, you need to learn how to recruit. Well, I hate that word a bit too, but I want to say that you need to start building relationships and being really good with communication in order to, you need to ask questions from people. So when you want to be good at that, just write down the leader there in a chat, because these skills are so important when you want to make breakthrough in this industry. So I just want to say, you guys,
what I was just going to say,
I wanted to say,
I want to echo what you're saying about developing the skill, because if you want to make money in the industry, you've got to help other people. So recruiting, I'm going to help you guys make a mindset shift real quick. And I know we're going a little longer, but let me help you with this. See, selling your product is just you and your customer having an exchange. You're helping them with the physical product, right? And the recruiting is just helping them with another product, right? It's the product that actually they can do something with and make, in some cases, thousands and millions. So often we have to train ourselves to think of recruiting is something that you do for someone, not to someone. Right?
Exactly. You're serving people and you're helping others and you're doing something amazing every day. And when you start tomorrow to do the recruiting job, you just need to put yourself in mindset.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, guys. Well, as we wrap up, I got a couple little action steps for you to take. So, number one, how many people are you connecting with per week? Now, some people break it down to a daily number. I like that. On your, DMOs, maybe you have a daily reach out, a 5-person reach out. And I'm talking about new people. Okay, how many people are you following up? In other words, you've got a customer base, a customer pod, or you're developing your customer list. Have you said, hey, you know what? I know you love product blank. Have you ever thought about, doing something like this? So you're popping the question to people that already love your products, and you're making the intentional effort. That's what it's about. We have to put on the recruiting hat. Okay, so how many people are you reaching out to? You got to get a weekly goal. Okay, the next thing I want you to think about is what area. I want you to write this down right now. Is there one area in the recruiting process that you want to improve? So maybe it's the area that you're afraid and you want to improve. Okay, only one area in the process. Okay, write that down and even put it in the chat, because that's going to also help me train you and know what you need. So what's one area? That's number 2 that you want to work on and develop. Going to practice that one area. And then the third thing, Are you doing three-way chats, three-way Zooms? In other words, is your upline, or are you the upline, supporting and helping your team members develop these skills? And this isn't, if you're not doing that, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that people do what the leader does. And I've had times where my recruiting has been in the tanker and my team's recruiting is in the tanker. Also had times where my recruiting, I'm on fire and my team is on fire. So people attract to people. How are you showing up to the people that you want to attract? And as we close, SANNA, I want to thank you so much again for joining us. We really went a while today. You're probably like, yeah, Joan, you talked a lot again. No.
Thank you, Joan. It was such a pleasure again. Thank you so much.
And I just love hearing all the success that you and your team are having. And I know that many of your team members, they talk so highly about you. I see all the fun that you have with the girls, and they know that you're an ass kicker. They know, they're like, you know what? She's a can-do gal, and she really cares about us and empowers us. And that's what I love about you. So thanks for joining me. And I can't wait to see you in person very soon.
Yeah,
you never know. All right, guys. Have a beautiful Wednesday. We'll see you again for Monday Morning Motivation and next Wednesday on the Leader Lowdown. Bye-bye.
Bye.